Hi, my name's Brian. My wife's Dixie, and she's not here today. She's out of town. But she would definitely agree. We both were in sync about what I'm going to tell you is that we were at this large retirement community, 3,500 homes, had an HOA, property tax. We were there 8 years. And we just realized that if something was going to happen to me, that I don't think, in fact, I think if something happened to either one of us, I don't know if the other one could really afford to stay there. So we realized we needed to do something different. And I started looking at tiny homes, and there wasn't one for a while that was anywhere close to where we were at now, where our grandkids were. Then one day I saw Liberty Tiny Home here in Aubrey, and we visited a year and a half ago, but we weren't retired yet, and we needed to sell our home. Well, once we sold that and came here and paid cash for what we have right now, it just took a lot of weight off of us. We just feel so much freer. We're on a fixed income, we're retired, we have just a lot rent, we have the electric, and that's it. There's no property tax. You know, it's just so perfect for a person when they're getting to the point when they're going to retire. So it's something to think about, because there's something to say about just freeing yourself up, because what it does for you emotionally, physically, spiritually, all that, you know, it's very helpful. And when we first walked in here, we weren't sure about this living room because it was small. We didn't know if we needed a little sleeper sofa type thing, if we needed recliners or whatever, and if we were going to be able to fit our TV in here along with the sound system that we had. And I wanted to keep the TV, so we started measuring everything. And if you're going to get a tiny home, make sure you measure everything to a T, write it down, so when you go shopping. You know, when we first left where we were at before, we had a very large living room, big couch, just elbowed around. So we came to this and we tried to determine what kind of furniture we wanted. We went with these 2 recliners or wall huggers. And at first you might be like, am I going to be able to handle this? Is this going to be too small? But, you know, we realized, hey, even when we were in our bigger house before, we pretty much were in the same place all the time watching TV. So we just adapted to that. We're just like, okay, hey, this is great. We just sit here, recline back, watch our huge TV that we always had. It doesn't feel any different to us once we got used to it, and we love it. We didn't want to mount, or I didn't want to mount the TV on the wall. First of all, I'm not a real big fan of putting holes in the wall. Plus we have the air conditioner, and this is a big TV. So I didn't feel great about it hanging. I know it would, but we were perfectly fine. I didn't want to have to worry about looking up. This is eye level. I had a place to put the sound bar. I have a place to put the Wi-Fi, and I got my subwoofer right, and it worked perfectly. I couldn't have found a better thing for this to work. When I got this entertainment center, you know, we were looking for all kinds. My wife kind of wanted one with a fireplace, but it had no storage. And I saw this on Amazon, and we had measured the sound bar. We measured how much room we had to the side and the total width of it. And when I looked at all the measurements, because Amazon will give you all their measurements, and it was perfect. So we ordered that, put it together, and we couldn't be happier with it. Then my wife ordered these 2 end tables, 2 of them from Amazon also, just so we can put food on there, we can put our drinks or whatever. And they actually have a place at the bottom that you can slide up underneath your chair if you wanted to get it closer to you. And plus, if you want to, this folds down, this folds up, so it's perfectly flat. You could go put it somewhere. You could put it under a bed if you wanted to. I think it was a really good idea. I liked what she found. Every evening when we sit down and relax, we watch TV, it couldn't be any better. We don't even notice the size of it anymore. With us having the small living room, what made up for it was when we walked into this kitchen, we saw how much space we had, which to us, that was a big deal. So it made it much easier to accept the living room because of the size of this kitchen. This side over here, you can see has a lot of counter space, a nice deep sink. We have a dishwasher. We don't even have to use it because it's just the 2 of us. We always just go ahead and clean our dishes and dry them right then and put them back. In fact, we could actually opt out of this dishwasher if a person wanted to for more storage or a garbage bin, whatever it may be. Really, you don't need it. Well, at least we don't think you need it. So it's perfect. We couldn't ask for anything more, and it's probably one of the larger kitchens that we've seen in a tiny home. Right here we have a regular size stovetop, oven, and microwave. You can see the microwave has plenty of room in it. Also can be a convection oven too, so you can use that. We came from having a gas stove to this electric stove. At first I wasn't sure how I would like that, but actually I got used to it because it heats up very quickly. I think it's great. I don't have a problem, and I don't have to worry about gas, so that's good. You can see that we have plenty of cabinet space, and the fact that we got rid of a lot of things, we don't need quite as much storage space as we used to. In fact, a lot of our dishes we got rid of, but it fits everything perfectly. You just have to go ahead and just adjust accordingly. Whatever your storage space is, just make sure you just downsize to what you need and where it's going to fit just for you. Right, now this side of the kitchen, we got some more storage space, which is great. And actually, if a person wanted to, they could buy one of those mobile islands, because people mention that, and you would have plenty of room for that. We didn't want to take up that space. And we have some more cabinet space up here, and we even have place up on top, like our paint is up there. We have a full-size refrigerator and freezer. We have plenty of room. And we don't keep as much food as we used to, even though we still could, but it's great.
Hi there, I'm Cindy. You may recognize me. I'm a member of the Tiny Home Tours team, and I host our weekly podcast, Let's Talk Tiny. I live in this tiny home, and just like Brian and Dixie, I live in a tiny home community in Texas. Texas has quite the hurricane season, and it's not uncommon for us to lose our power here. That's why I'm excited that Bluetti is the sponsor of this video. This is the Bluetti Elite 300, and it serves as a backup power system for my fridge, as well as many other things around my house. So when the power goes out, I can unplug the refrigerator from the wall and plug it right into the Bluetti portable power station. This particular unit has about 3,000 watt-hour capacity, which means it can run our refrigerator for about 2.5 days without having to be recharged. It also has a large enough inverter to run all of your standard kitchen appliances, like a microwave, an air fryer, or toaster. For me, that can also mean staying connected for my work too. Every Thursday, the Let's Talk Tiny podcast airs live on our channel. If the power were to go out, I would still be able to host it by plugging in my Wi-Fi router and computer. Personally, I think the Elite 300 is the perfect backup power system for those living in a tiny house. It's compact, but it packs a powerful punch. You can charge it by plugging it into a wall, a car charger, an alternator charger, or my favorite, a solar panel. There are tons of other applications for the Bluetti portable power station. It's great for keeping medical devices powered, great for contractors on the job site, and great for RV and camping applications. If you want to learn more about the Bluetti Elite 300 and Bluetti's lineup of portable power stations, head to the link in the description. Thanks, Bluetti. And now back to Brian and Dixie's home.
One of the things I like about this living room and this kitchen is actually when I walk in, it's really pretty cool. As you can see behind me, you can see straight down through the house. You can see down the hall into the bedroom. You can see the rails and the loft. So I just think it's a pretty unique view. It's just kind of gives us some class, I guess you could say. And it kind of, from there we can go ahead and walk down through and see the rest of this house. We went looking for a stackable washer and dryer, and I'll tell you the story about this. Now, like I said before, you got to measure. You have to measure everything. So we went to the guy at the Nebraska Furniture Mart, and we said, hey, we have about 1 inch space. He said, okay. So when they brought it to deliver it, the guy's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit this in there. The guy was trying to get it. He goes, oh, I don't think I can get that. And I'm looking to the other side, and I'm like, yeah, you're going to get that in there one way or the other. So they push it over. And what they do is they take Windex and squirt it down there and keep sliding it in and sliding it until they got it in there. The other thing is nice, we have these couple little cabinets here. So we put like our laundry detergent, our fabric softener, some of our cleaning products, and down below we have some of our hand soap and things like that. So that's kind of nice little addition we have right here next to where the washer and dryer is. All right, besides all the storage you saw before in the kitchen and all that, we have this pantry here, which I actually was surprised at how much room we had in this pantry. You can see we still got a lot of space, so it's perfect. I mean, we had a very large pantry before we came here, but of course we don't need as much here in this tiny home. So we don't buy too much like we used to before. We buy just what we need to fit into this pantry. So I think it's great. We have some things in here that belong in the bathroom. Some of it belongs in the kitchen. So we kind of use it for both things. And we have our towels and stuff that are in this one. Again, you're not going to have an excess number of towels like you may have had in your larger house. You don't need that. It's just the two of you. So couldn't ask for better. One thought that I had is, what am I going to do with my computer? Where am I going to do that at? And I thought, well, I'm going to have to do it in the loft. But in the loft, it'd be pretty tough because the ceiling is very low. It's only like 3 feet. Well, fortunately, when we came into this one, they have this built-in desk for you. When originally they called this the Trendy and Tiny home because of the different things that you see in it. So this was great. And all we did is we took a hole saw, drilled a hole through the desk, brought the wires down, hooked up the printer to it, and it's great. This was the best solution I probably could have ever come up with. Oh, actually, I didn't come up with it, that they came up with, and I'm glad they did. Also in our house, we have this right here is where our water heater is. And by the way, the water pressure of this place, unreal. Then we have 3 more drawers. You can do anything you want. We pretty much just put things that we didn't really have a place for. So that works for us. The grand total was $150,000. The base price is $135,000 because of the counter out there on the porch, the desk. And then when you add the stairs, the underpinning, the sales tax, because it's a non-motorized RV. So there's sales tax, just like you'd have sales tax in a car. So that added up to the additional $15,000. We pay $850 a month for lot rent, and it'll stay that way for 2 years because of them waiting on the water lines to be put in before they can add any more homes or do any amenities. So even if they had amenities done in a year, they still have it fixed for 2 years. That's what it'll be for us. Our electric last month was $60, and we do have insurance. The insurance, I believe, was $1,600 a year. That's fine. It's still a lot less than what it was costing us for the house we were living in before. Us being on a fixed income, when we were still working our retirement job, so to speak, it kept us afloat. But when you have an HOA of every 6 months, you pay like $3,000. You have property taxes for what we had in Denton County was actually less than a lot of people, but still $4,500 a year. And then just the house itself was, I guess you could say it's cheap for a house of that size, but it was still like $2,100 a month. So you take $2,100, you take electric, you take gas, you take sewer. Water and sewer adds up to over $100 even when you hardly use anything. So there's a huge difference in being able to afford your fixed income. I'm not sure we could have done fixed income for both of us to live off of where we were at before. Here, I'm positive that one of us could live off of it. So the difference is huge. That just gives you this peaceful feeling, like knowing that no matter what happens to your situation in life, that one or the other will be okay. Here's our downstairs bedroom, and as you get older, you don't really want to have to be going up and down stairs. So this is perfect. The other thing about it that's nice, it's actually a good sized bedroom. We have a queen size bed in here. It's not a queen RV, it's a regular queen size. We know we could also put a king, but we were good with a queen. We were able to put 2 end tables in there with lamps. So this is, to us, is a perfect size, has everything we need. We really couldn't ask for more. We had a very large bedroom before. To me, it was almost too large. It doesn't feel cozy to me. So I did not mind downsizing to this size bedroom because it just feels like it's a better fit. I don't need all the extra space. I don't need to have a chair in my bedroom or anything like that. I just need a bed. Also in here, if you notice, we have an air conditioner in this bedroom. If we want to, we can close the sliding door and just cool this place at night and leave the other units off. There's a unit in the living room, and there's a unit upstairs in the loft. In the daytime, we only use the one in the loft. The other 2 are off. We almost always just use 1 unit at a time. That's all we knew. So it keeps our electric bill way down. That's another good thing about a tiny home. The cost of your utilities, much less. We definitely went from a very large walk-in closet to the closet we have right now. So, of course, we know that we had to get rid of a bunch of stuff. We took a lot of things to Goodwill. And actually, to be honest with you, I probably still have too many clothes because I have quite a few, probably gonna wear them all, but it worked out perfect. My wife's down on the bottom part, I'm on the top part, no problem, it works. All right, what we have here is a split loft, which is unusual. You don't see that very often. The nice thing about it is the stairs are not quite as steep. The other thing is nice, on both sides we have a twin bed. Our grandkids, they love to go up, they love that loft. They go up there, have a high old time. There's a TV up there, there's a couple filing cabinets up there. To me, a person just has to have a loft if you're gonna have a tiny home. Even if you don't have a bed up there, you at least can put storage up there. And that is something that you really would consider to be a big plus. The shower you're seeing right now was not the shower they had before originally. And we were wanting a walk-in shower, and because there was some negative feedback from people when they came through, well, the owners of Liberty Tiny Home decided we're going to go ahead and redo this shower. And just so happens they were going to redo it as a walk-in shower, which is what Dixie wanted. So when we were coming through and found that out, it was like that was the last little piece that just sold the house to us. So they paid to have the whole shower redone, everything except for the door. We paid for the door, and it's pretty cool because the door can go either way, which is really kind of nice a lot of times. And we love the shower. It's a perfect shower, it's easy to clean, and we couldn't be happier with that. As far as the rest of the bathroom goes, you definitely have to adapt. I mean, there's just this one area, we've got plenty of stuff in there, but what happens is we used a drawer across the hallway here to put the rest of our things in that we don't use every day in the bathroom. So there's a way to get around it. We love the sink, we love the mirror. You know, the bathroom in general to us is pretty good size. You know, a lot of people would think, oh, a tiny home would be a little dinky bathroom like an RV would be, but it's not, it's great, and it's all we need. Yeah, when we first came into this tiny home, we come into this front porch. It had this countertop with the sink and the fridge. And then later on, we went ahead and screened it in as fast as we could to keep the flies and mosquitoes out so I can cook out here. We love sitting out here in our Adirondack rockers, just looking at the green grass and the animals out there. We love it out on this porch. One great thing I like about here is I can come out here and make a mess. I can cut stuff, I can just do whatever. And it's real easy for me to clean it because there's no lips to the sink, so I can wash it right into there. And if there's anything going to be cooked in the oven, I just do it all out here, take it in there, stick it in there, and that's it. I don't make a mess in the kitchen. This tiny home was built by Clayton, and this was part of the home itself. It's kind of a fancy thing. It's why they called it Trendy and Tiny, because you had this and the desk and all that. So it's pretty cool. First, I wasn't sure if I'd like it, but I like it a lot. Now that we've done it, first of all, we don't regret it. One thing we might say is, why did we not do it sooner? The thing about it, you know, once it's all said and done, besides peace and freeing, is fact, like for example, in March, I told my mom, I said, if the weather is good and we're able to drive up to Colorado, which we don't usually, we're going to come up. And it was. If I had been where we were before, with my wife and I, at this large retirement community, we could not have afforded to do that. But here we're able to do things like that. You know, my mom's 92. It's great to be able to go see her and spend some time with her. That was an awesome thing. I mean, it's worth the fact that you just had that freedom, that peace of mind, that there's something you want to do, you can go do it, and it's not going to break the bank. But you know what? Dixie said the other day, she says, you know what? We are happier in this tiny home than any other time. We get along so much better now than we did before. And it's true. And I think a lot it has to do is because we don't have all this stuff. We have this freedom. We have this peace. I think it's all because of that. So think about that when you think about a tiny home. Well, thank you for watching this video and taking a tour with me through our home. And if you have any questions for me, you know, just go ahead and put them in the comments below. We'd be glad to help you because I really hope that you make a decision to go tiny. So thank you again. Appreciate it. And my wife will probably thank you too if she was here. Thank you so much.